Good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you might be, whatever time of day it might be. I have got now the May numbers in. We got some interesting things happening here. I got a full market update. We get a lot of people saying, what's going on in the market? So I'm going to show you the overall market update. Then I'm going to show you something interesting that has to do with the condo market, which is definitely pushing some numbers up, but not to be confused with the seller for single-family homes, which is much different. Let's get into it. You can see here that this is all properties. So this is single-family homes, condos, villas, townhomes. This is Tri-County, but also includes Indian River County, St. Lucie County, Martin County, Palm Beach County, and then even areas into Broward a little bit. So let's get into that. So what we have here is we have now, as I said, the May numbers are in. So this is 524. We're at a total of 45,879 units that are actively on the market. We come down here, you can see this pending line went down from last month in April to 9,344 to 8,814. So we're down almost 100 units. Now we're down almost 500 units closed from April at 9,060 to 8,500. So the pendings have gone down and the closings have gone down. If we look over here, I always like to take a look at, so we're at 423. This is dramatically different, right? 27,762 total active units on the market, 9,100, which is pretty much actually lower than over here for pending units 1 year later, but obviously much more property on the market at 44,805. So, active inventory is way up. We're almost double. If we look at 523 compared to 524, 523, these numbers are just in. These are right off the press. We had 27,384 units total on the market. We had 9,253 units that were pending. So that's double up, and we're down on the pendings. Remember, this is as a collective. This is the single-family homes and condos. What I'm going to do in the next segment of this is I'm going to show you the condo market and what's really pushing, I think, these numbers up. So let's move down just real quickly here into the average price per square foot sold. So this is the total market, average price per square foot sold. It eked up a little bit here from $448 in April to $450 a square foot. So the values are still holding, and they've actually gone up a little bit. So anybody that's out there going, the market's crashing, the values are definitely not crashing and not coming down. They've actually gone up. Now, the condo market is definitely, which I'm going to get into here in a little bit, is definitely putting pressure on all of this. And we'll actually show you here a little bit later that the values have actually gone down with condos. 524 was 450. 523 was 418. So we've gone up in a year, no doubt. And we can see here moving across that there's a gradual increase in the price per square foot. So this is healthy. It's actually healthier than the rest of the United States. So anybody that's saying the market's crashing, they're not right. They're just not accurate. So don't listen to them. Now, even here, we went from 423 at 398 a square foot over to 424 up to 448. So that's a significant increase. You're probably looking at close to a 10% appreciation over that period of time. Moving down to, I always like to go average days on the market and original listing price to sale price. So the average days on the market has stayed level. We're right around 60 days across the United States. It's actually in the 70 days on the market. So we're below the national average. So at 61, we didn't move much. We didn't move at all. We didn't move at all from the original listing price to sale price at 91 over to 91. That's the original listing price. People might have dropped their prices or taken a little bit less than what their original listing price was, but they're on the market exactly the same amount of time. So that's good to look at there. Now, going back a year, this is why, because we had less inventory back then, it's not abnormal that we would have less days on the market when you have lower inventory. So it was 56 days on the market, and we come over to 424, 61 days on the market. It's definitely gone up, all right? Now, we went 92, 92, 423, 523, 424, 524, we're at 91. So people are definitely not getting as much as they did a year ago from their original listing price. But as per the last graph that I showed you, the average price per square foot has gone up. This looks good. No time to panic here at all. Let's move down lastly to one of my favorite graphs, which tells us the health of the market. And we have gone up. Now, I think that we're going to show you here in the next set of graphs, I'm going to show you this condo market is definitely pushing up the inventory, which is creating more months supply of inventory. We were at 4.9 months of inventory. Now we're at 5.4 months of inventory. So it's certainly creeping up close to that buyer's market, which is over 6 months of inventory. But as a collective, we are not in a buyer's market. Before I go on, 423, we're at 3.2 months of inventory. 424, we're at 4.9 months of inventory. 523, we're at 2.8 months of inventory, which was in a seller's market. 524, we're well into and above on the higher side of that neutral market. And again, neutral market is between 3 and 6 months of inventory. Under 3 months of inventory is a seller's market. Over 6 months of inventory, that's a buyer's market. So we're in a neutral market. Now, I think that this next set of graphs will illustrate a lot of what I'm talking about. Now, this is what is mildly alarming. So in April, we had 28,033. We went to 28,569. So it has gone up. The inventory, this is condos. So this condo market is continuing to creep up. The pendings went from last month of 4,532 to 4,177. So that's down. So those, we're not putting as many of them under agreement, and that's making, as a result, the active properties going up because the market is not absorbing it. 4,508 closings for condos and townhomes. We went to 4,148. We have less closings. Now, I always like to look back a year. We went from 16,039, and then if we went to 424, we went to 28,000. So that's almost double. It's almost double the amount of inventory that was on the market there. Now, if we go over to 523, we had 15,900, and we went to 28,569. Again, almost double. If we look at the pendings, 4521, we look at pendings over here, 424, 4532, right around the same amount of pendings. Closings, 4,469, 4,508. So the closings were up more. But if we look at 523, we're at 4,739. As far as pendings, we went down to 4,177. Now we're moving into the summer market. So this is not uncommon that you're not going to have as many pendings because condos and villas and townhomes have more of a second home aspect to them. They're people that are snowbirds. They're people that are second homes. So this is not uncommon. But if we look over here at 423 as far as closings, we're at 4469, 4508. We're actually up a little bit in closings year over year. But again, looking at this inventory, that's what we really want to be looking at, not so much the closings. They're important. We're at 524. We're at 4,148 closed. 523, 4,997. So we're down almost 700, 800 units there as far as closings. So that's something to keep an eye on. Now, this is the graph that I really wanted you to take a look at. This is where values have definitely taken a hit. So looking back here in April, 424, we had 424 was actually $424 per square foot and went down to $410 a square foot. So you can see back over this graph, it does bounce around. So this is not like super alarm bells going off, because we do get these mild fluctuations, but we're down, $14 a square foot, from the past month. Now, I do want you to look over here at 423. That was $384 a square foot. We look at 424, it was 424. So it's still up compared to year over year. We look at 524 at 410 a square foot. And we were up 523. It was 402 a square foot. So you were still up, if you want a condo, in general, $8 a square foot. So it's not as significant as the single-family homes. This is what I'm trying to show you here. Now, if we go down here to days on the market and the original listing price to sale price, this is where it starts to get a little interesting here too. Average days on the market, we stayed at 66. Last month was 66. We did go up a little bit in the original listing price to sale price, around 91. Now, people are probably listening to their realtors more that come with this kind of data that can show them you got to price it right. So this is probably where that happened. People just going, hey, you really need to price right. You can't shoot for the sun, the moon, and the stars. You got the special assessment that came in. You really need to price right in order to get close to your asking price. Now, if we look over here, though, so this is 524, let's at 523. It was 55 days on the market. So another 11 days on the market more. And they got 93% of their original listing price, not 91. So it was more that they were getting close to their asking price there a year ago, 523. Coming over here to 423 compared to 424, 523 was 57 days on the market. So that's 9 extra days on the market that you could anticipate being rather than a year ago at this time. They were getting 92% of their original listing price. So we're a little bit below that, but let's not get into the granularity of that. There's some alarm bells mildly going off out there, because technically we look at we were last month at 6.2 months of inventory. That's a buyer's market. We're up now to 6.9 months of inventory for a condo. So see this ascension in the inventory. It's gone up, from 524 at 6.9, 523, 3.2. We were almost in a seller's market a year ago in the condos. Now we're fully in a buyer's market. So that's what I think the alarm bells are a little bit going off for, and probably the sky is falling kind of people. But going back, remember, to those average price per square foot, that's up. So the alarm bells certainly can be ringing. It might be a canary in the coal mine kind of thing. We'll only know here with time if the values really start to get hit. Lastly, if we look back again, 424 at 6.2 months, we look at 423, that was 3.6, and you can see how it bounces around a little bit. I think overall what you can see is that as a whole, the inventory has gone up. As a whole, the price per square foot has gone up for over a year. But as a whole, as we segment between single-family homes and condos and villas and townhomes, there's this difference. And the month supply of inventory as a collective has gone up, because you can see that those condos, now that we're in a buyer's market, in the condo market, is putting pressure on the market as a whole. So this is why you really need a great realtor who understands the data, who can show you what the data means to you as a buyer or a seller. If you're out there looking for a condo, I think this is a great time. You're literally in a buyer's market. What more do you want if you're looking to buy something than to be in the best market that you can be in from a buyer perspective? Now, sellers on single-family homes, not as much of an alarm, right? I didn't segment out just the single-family homes because I wanted to show you what was putting pressure, and I'm watching a lot of videos out there. It's not crashing. I think people need to pay attention, on that sell side, especially to price properly. And if you do, you still will sell and you've built some equity even if you bought even a year ago. So hope this finds you well. And if you want one of these market reports done on your specific community, please reach out, like and subscribe below. I'm going to just start doing more of these market reports on this channel. I'm actually starting another channel that's going to be very seller-centric because I think that moving into the NAR settlement, listings and the representation for people on listings is going to be hyper important. So I'm going to keep these market reports coming out. Anything we can do to help, please let me know. We'll see you on the next one.